Our Kaimanawa Odyssey begins with an early morning pickup from Waiouru by the friendly local Department of Conservation staff. These guys are responsible not only for the muster itself, but also for looking after us observers in case we do anything silly like step on a bomb, which is not quite as silly as it sounds. This is part of the New Zealand Army training area, and although it's not exactly central city Baghdad, unexploded shells are not altogether uncommon. Duly warned, we drive onward, and it's not long before we catch a glimpse of our first wild horses. Being close to camp, these guys see their fair share of military action, so our polite white dock van doesn't really raise an eyebrow. That stallion's rather handsome. Take him home. Woof. He's a handsome lad, that one. Yep, so although I promised my long-suffering partner I wouldn't come home with any new additions to our animal family, I could already feel those wild horses tugging at my heartstrings. As we came over the ridge, the valley below was breathtaking. Almost as breathtaking as the wind, but being a true blue professional, I braved the elements in the name of horsing around NZ.
We're now in the middle of the very windy home valley with the Moafongo Valley behind us. Now the majority of horses are going to be coming out of this area. It's quite interesting talking to the Department of Conservation and how they do manage the muster of the horses, and certainly want to keep the genetics as true to the Kaimanawa breed as possible. And so very soon we're going to be seeing some of these amazing bands of horses, as they're known, which looks like family groups to us, coming out of this very valley.
Despite the windy conditions, the helicopters had headed out earlier to begin the muster, and it wasn't long before we heard a chopper approaching and saw the first band of horses come into view. As the amazing scene unfolded, our group in the blind were reduced to oohs and ahs of awe. We'll spare you those and give you some tasteful music instead. Jeepers.
The one thing I've been absolutely amazed by is the organisation, and the musterers are fantastic. They're walking through the horses when they get them in the pens as if they're horses that know people well. There's no fear, there's no anxiety, there's no energy in the musterers, so the horses just kind of go with it. It's quite incredible to watch that, a wild horse just able to get on with a human because the musterers are so relaxed themselves. And the condition of the horses is actually remarkable. I mean, you can see the kind of grass and sort of tussock that they feed on. So the horses that are allowed to roam in this beautiful country certainly have more grass. And you can see the results. They're in great condition.
Being able to gaze at the Kais close up, I also got the opportunity to eye up a mare foal combo I'd seen coming in earlier in the day. When it comes to horses, I'm a sucker for a pretty face, and I'd just fallen hook, line and sinker.
I don't know, because you can't really say what you want, but there's one there that there's just been a few moments between us. She's even got a C on her head for Country 99. Might be meant to be.
After some hasty negotiations, I managed to secure the objects of my newfound love. Right now, I was officially in the early stages of a big old Kaimanawa crush. It's day 2 at the Kaimanawa muster. The sun is just breaking through in the valley. It's a misty morning, but the horses have all come through the night really well. They were very settled when we left last night on dark, and with hay and water, it looks like they've had a great night. Right now, they're being sorted into colts, fillies, mares with foals and stallions. People have bought these horses and have requested what they want. And this year, it's great that several stallions are going to very, very knowledgeable homes. So in a minute, the trucks will arrive and we'll take them on to their future destination, and we'll get to follow the ones heading to Huntly. First up, I had my special new Kais to check in on.
Good morning, baby. How was your night, darling?
The truck that would bring my babies a step closer to their new home wasn't long in arriving.
There's my girl. She might be going. What's her there? With her phone.
In the meantime, I had to get home and get ready to greet my new horses at their final destination. I'd christened my new mare with the giant C on her head, Ceecee, and her foal, Poppy. Now, as they came up my drive, it was the culmination of 3 days of unfamiliar and unsettling new experiences for them. In the last 72 hours, they'd been exposed to a bewildering array of trucks, yards, humans and helicopters, but despite it all, they emerged from the stock truck without any fuss.
That is cute, hey? That is really cute. Hi, baby.
The locals were fascinated by the new arrivals.
Who is it, Vish? Look at him, he's like, oh my God, new friends.
And there were some gentle human introductions to do too.
So that's Mum, and look at little Bub. Hello, darling. Isn't she gorgeous? Dear little pony. You're one of the lucky ones, aren't you? You should all be lucky. Good girl.
So that was it. 2 wild Kais and a foal on the way.